This is Designer AM of Lovelight, Minnesota, and this is our Disability Advocacy series. Today's video will cover coping skills. From a young age, we find ourselves having emotions over events and situations we can't control. Tends to be a situation that children are a lot that we struggle with as kids. Growing up in foster care, it makes it a lot harder when there are 30 and 40 kids in every single room. In foster homes, it's a little easier. There's 3 to 8 of us, but it's still exponentially harder to learn how to deal with yourself and the things that you're going to face in life. And when we spend our childhood, having that access to therapy is vital. It's really a great resource that foster care kids get. Having all the tools in our bag doesn't mean we still get the utilization of those tools. Even though we have those tools, we don't always come out of foster care knowing how to use them. I just wanted to kind of go over some of those coping skills for those of you who don't have those tools in your bag. For us, just taking 5 minutes, reading, having any kind of alone time is hard. So we are given other tools. And for us, probably the first one is grounding. When you are having an anxiety attack, when you're having a breakdown, when you're having an outburst, usually you're told to sit down. You're told to start thinking about the things you can see, you can hear, you can touch, you can smell, you can taste, and bringing yourself back into your body. Being in the present makes it a lot easier to deal with those overwhelming emotions. So you start just simply touching the chair that you're in, touching the pants that you're wearing, touching the shirt that you're wearing, feeling your hair on your face, feeling your glasses on your nose. You pick a couple of things you can feel. The air, what temperature is in the room? What do you have socks on your feet? Do you have shoes on your feet? How does the floor feel below you? And then you move on to another sense. What can you see? It's really bright in here. There's some things behind us. Oh, look, the floor. Look at the chair. How does the chair look to you? And then you move on to smell. And you're like, oh, it smells kind of brisk in here. It's a little cold smelling. I think I can smell some kids that were in here before. I smell my clothes. They smell nice. And then you move on to, all your senses. And that's how you ground, simply put. You go through your 5 senses and you pick a couple for each sense to bring yourself back into your body. And then another thing we like to do is exercise. So if you are feeling it in your body that you're getting overwhelmed, you're feeling it that your friend is starting to kind of just rub you the wrong way, then you decide, you just take note of that feeling in your body and begin to do some push-ups. Begin to do some sit-ups. Begin to just, you know what, ma'am, I'm gonna walk around the building. If you don't mind, I'm gonna do some laps up and down the hall. We learn that by exercising, by keeping ourselves moving, it's harder to slow down and make wrong decisions. It's easier to just walk away. It's easier to focus on exercise or some other thing. When you do calm down, another one is to process by writing. When we learn by taking notes while the teacher is talking. And we do that because when you utilize different parts of your brain, it helps you to memorize stuff. Well, that same theory is when you're going through something that is utilizing a lot of your brain and making you upset, when you write, it also helps you process that in new ways. So writing is a big technique. For me personally, I enjoy singing. I'm not particularly good at it. I'm not going to be a singer, but having that to just belt it out and feel that I am getting it out, it really helps me to feel better in the moment. There's also swimming. If you have access to a pool, you can really do a lot of exercise that you probably can't run around until you're tired. But for some reason, the pool holds you and strains you in ways that you can do a couple of laps and be whipped, which is really good to just get all that energy out. So if you have access to a pool, that's another one. They also have punching bags. If you have access to punching bags, it is great to put a face on it. You wouldn't want to do it in real life, but if that person's really making you angry, put their face on that punching bag and just punch the crap out of it for a while. That just, you can't ever really do it, but you can do it to a punching bag. You can kick it, you can elbow it, and really get in there, That's always good help. Also, if you maybe ask your parents or you're an adult, if you've decided you have a couple of plates you can just smash, putting them in a bag and beating the crap out of some plates is wonderful. Smashing them on the ground and sweeping them up later, just There's also creating art. Art is a way of reaching into your subconscious. It has a way of reaching into the parts of your brain you can't access usually. And it gives you an outlet that you wouldn't otherwise be able to utilize. Art has a way of reaching down into your guts and letting stuff out that you didn't even know you had in there. So art is amazing at as a coping skill. Breathing techniques and meditation practice. These you probably need some guided, like a person from YouTube. If you search like a video and do it with somebody, until you learn the meditation practices and the breathing techniques, you kind of need someone to walk you through it. It helps you to get the most out of it. But both meditation, yoga, exercise practices, breathing techniques have a way of soothing parts of you didn't know needed soothing. Sometimes you just need to relax and relax fully. It's something you can't just regularly do. You can sit in the tub. You can do all kinds of things. But the real practice comes into keeping a journal. And lots of people say this and you're like, okay. But there's a way of doing it so you start to notice the sensations in your body. And when you have that baseline, you begin to notice when there's a bump, when there's something that takes you away from your baseline. If you start to record those and learn what it is that makes you have those bumps, you can learn to cope with those bumps. So all of these coping skills go into learning your baseline and learning that you can manage those bumps. You can bring yourself back to homeostasis. You can bring yourself back to baseline. You are in control of you. And that is all you have control over in the end, is you. So you have to learn how to give yourself the room you need to deal with bumps. Bumps are going to happen. But you have to be in control. And that's what coping skills are for. Yeah. Y'all have a good day.